Friday, May 9th, 2025 dawns over Los Angeles with the deceptive serenity of an early summer blue haze, yet every ray of light feels sharpened into a countdown blade for the families entwined around Spencer, Logan, and Forrester destinies. Inside Il Giardino's private garden alcove, Liam Spencer sits alone beneath twinkling strands of cafe bulbs, bones aching from the tumor burrowing deeper each hour. Fingers wrapped tight round a mug gone cold, while his mind replays the last time he saw his father upright, uncompromising, and deaf to apology. The text he fired off at dawn: "Dad, please come. I need to talk" lingers between heartbeats like a metronome striking ever slower. He rehearses confession after confession. How the argument in Bill's penthouse tower detonated his pride, how the seizure that dropped him to carpet pile revealed the inoperable mass, how every breath he gulps now feels borrowed on terms no negotiator can amend. He imagines Bill striding in, expecting capitulation over corporate turf, but Liam knows this meeting must scorch away old power plays and leave only the raw alloy of father and son. When the restaurant's side door bursts open and Bill's silhouette shoulders through, designer jacket flaring like a bullfighter's cape, the distance between them feels at once mere inches and a lifetime of missed understanding. Greeting dies unsaid. Bill's gaze schemes from his son's sunken temples to the tremor in bandaged fingers, and the swagger he arrived with hangs limp. Liam's voice fractures on the opening sentence, admitting the tumor, the prognosis, the finite timeline, each syllable falling like pebbles into still water as Bill's composure ripples apart. Dollar Bill, titan of deal and domain, sits collapses across from the son he molded with tough love and sees, perhaps for the first time without distraction, the vulnerable man beneath expectations. Rage ignites that any universe would dare target his child, yet guilt flares hotter because the last words they exchanged were accusations. Liam, fighting a fresh surge of vertigo, reaches across teak wood, bridges decades of turbulence, and forgives before blame can calcify. He would rather die rinsed clean of bitterness than carry rancor to the grave. Bill's eyes wet, jaw clenched, voice rough as gravel as he whispers he is sorry for every boardroom lecture delivered as love, for every moral shortcut he modeled. They clasp hands, the gesture lacking the crisp Spencer firmness of successful mergers and instead trembling with tenderness. In that hush, Bill feels the full weight of responsibility not for impossible medical statistics, but for ensuring Liam's remaining days hum with beauty rather than regret. A plan spools in the billionaire's mind, specialists from Zurich, gene editing trials in Seoul, but Liam's quiet plea halts him. Fight if you must, Dad, but let the fight be balanced with memory-making, because the girls deserve laughter louder than hospital monitors. Bill nods, swallowing the need to dominate fate, promising to marshal both armies, one of cutting-edge science and one of unfiltered love. While reconciliation seedlings sprout beneath Il Giardino's wisteria canopy, another collision course accelerates high on the Malibu cliff house. Finn, fresh from another 12-hour trauma rotation, stands in the hallway where Luna once ambushed him, fingers brushing the shell bracelet she left behind. He wrestles with competing codes. The physician sworn to do no harm, the husband duty-bound to uphold Steffi's boundaries, the man newly awakened to paternal instinct for a daughter whose existence still rattles his certainty of identity. His phone buzzes with a CT scan update on Liam, edema increasing, pressure creeping, and urgency surges. There may be no time left for second-guessing allegiances. Luna, waiting outside under cypress shade, steels herself for either acceptance or exile. When Finn finally opens the door, their eyes lock with the electricity of shared DNA asserting itself despite months of denial. Luna's plea tumbles out. She can help, she can be tested, She can contact research contacts at UCSF who once studied rare pediatric neuroglial anomalies. Anything, everything. Just don't turn away. Finn's brow furrows. Liam's tumor is adult onset and deeply entrenched, but some experimental immunotherapies rely on close genetic matches to engineer tailored vectors. A half-sibling or daughter could, in theory, contribute conduits for targeted delivery. It is a whisper of hope, faint as starlight yet impossibly bright, because starlight travels impossible distances to reach those who glance up. He agrees to swab her cheek for rapid sequencing. The moment the swab passes between them, Steffi's SUV tires crunch into the driveway. Steffi enters to find Finn mid-procedure with the young woman she banned. Fury ignites, yet Luna's mention of a chance, however slim, to aid Liam diffuses her in a single heartbeat. Steffi still remembers the terror on Kelly's face, learning her father's days are numbered. If Luna's DNA offers any therapeutic angle, pride must kneel. A fragile truce forms. They send the sample to a genomic lab under Rush Code Crimson, and Steffi, though wary, thanks Luna for caring. Luna retreats to the porch, tears shimmering in dawning relief. Door not closed, family ties may be weaving at last. Across Townhope, Logan kneels on the cabin floor beside Beth, sorting markers into rainbow arrays that mask her mind's screaming grief. She reminds herself to inhale, exhale, to speak with steadiness, so Beth senses only anticipation of time with Daddy, not the ticking bomb overshadowing it. When her phone pings with Steffi's message that Liam is with Bill, she prays the meeting births forgiveness rather than conflict. She flashes back to the night Steffi broke the oath of secrecy to warn her, "You need to let Beth see her father while he is still himself," before days blur into morphine drips and whispered goodbyes. Hope's gratitude for that breach of promise transformed rivalry into sisterhood, yet dread still parallels each gratitude. Will Liam's determination to broker lasting peace between his two great loves endure once tumors eclipse cognition? She resolves to stand shoulder to shoulder with Steffi, no matter past jealousies, in the mission to keep memories vibrant for the girls. Meanwhile, Bill drives Liam back along the PCH in open-top silence, broken only by gulls and the crash of waves, the air between them no longer heavy with confrontation, but with the fragile contentment of wounds sutured just before hemorrhage. At the mansion, Liam records voice memos on a sun-dappled patio. One for Beth urging her to treasure gentle strength, one for Kelly to chase curiosity, one for Bill thanking him for trading empire building for legacy tending, one for Steffi and Hope together asking them to believe love can be shared without diminishing. He finishes as Finn calls. Preliminary genomic alignment suggests Luna could serve as a viable donor for a next-generation oncolytic virus trial in Switzerland, but the window to transport Liam and culture bespoke vectors is paper-thin. Bill's eyes blaze determination. Jets can be fueled within the hour. Steffi and Hope agree, but insist the girls travel too, refusing to squander another sunrise without their father's presence. The decision ignites a whirlwind. Passports retrieved, legal permissions expedited, ridgetop goodbyes shouted into coastal wind. At LAX, a private Spencer jet idles under blazing noon sun. Luna boards last, clutching the shell bracelets twin she crafted during sleepless anticipation, her role as potential savior buoying hope across anxious minds. Bill's private medical team loads portable monitors. Finn briefs the Swiss research director via encrypted call. Steffi tightly grips Hope's hand as the jet ascends, unity forged in heartbreak. In flight, Liam drifts between clarity and fog, but moments he is awake, he gazes out the window at cloud kingdoms and whispers gratitude for one more great adventure, with his daughters sleeping against his shoulders. Over the Atlantic, Bill leans across the aisle, voice hushed, promising to bear medical costs even if the therapy fails, promising to model for Beth and Kelly the courage their father manifested in choosing reconciliation over resentment. Hours later, the jet glides onto Zurich tarmac, where an ambulance whisks them to a mountainside institute. Doctors harvest Luna's stem cells, engineer viral envelopes attuned to Liam's tumor markers, and within 48 hours administer the experimental infusion. Finn scrubs in to supervise, eyes never leaving monitors that pulse possibility. Steffi, Hope, and Bill keep vigil in a glass-walled family suite overlooking fir-clad slopes kissed by alpine dusk. They braid memories with prayers while Beth teaches Kelly to count cowbells echoing from distant pastures. A week crawls. Fever spikes, seizures rattle, but then pressure indices stabilize. MRI contrast shows faint necrosis along tumor margins, early sign the viral vector is chewing malignancy. The lead researcher warns it may mean extra days, not cure, yet extra days are galaxies when measured against the nothing once offered. Liam wakes lucid one crisp dawn to Beckett blue sky beyond snow peaks. He sits up unaided, smiles at Hope's stunned gasp, then beckons Steffi to gather Beth and Kelly to his arms simultaneously. Bill stands at the doorway, eyes glistening, whispering that even borrowed miracles count. Luna peeks from control room, heart swelling as Finn squeezes her shoulder. Father and daughter bound now by more than shared cells, they are architects of second chances. Weeks stretch into a month. The tumor's central mass diminishes by fractions that feel like miles. Liam experiences days of nearly normal strength, sharing fondue with the girls in Zurich's old town, snowball fights along the limb mat, late-night cocoa where he tells Beth stories about knights who found courage in forgiving their dragons. Yet doctors remain cautious. Rogue cell clusters could flare anew, and the therapy's novelty means unknown relapse curves. Liam chooses to treat each dawn as both gift and potential farewell. On the final clearance day, he and Bill walk a pine trail above the institute. Liam thanks his father for setting aside empire ego. Bill thanks his son for teaching him the empire means nothing without people to celebrate its sunsets. They carve initials into weathered timber, handshake replaced by tear-damp hug. That evening, Finn gathers the united clan Steffi, Hope, Luna, Bill, Beth, Kelly, and explains they can fly home under stringent follow-up. The return flight shimmers with subdued jubilation, neither triumph nor tragedy, simply the fragile midpoint where hope and realism coexist. Back in Malibu, Liam steps onto beach sand, scalp prickling in Pacific breeze, and breathes salt air like communion. He is not cured, he is not doomed. He exists within the liminal space where medical innovation grants reprieve and human connection infuses every extended heartbeat with purpose. Steffi and Hope witness his first sunset back home, lined shoulder to shoulder, and as burnt orange sky bleeds into indigo, they share quiet marvel that rivalry once defined their relationship, yet facing mortality forged them into steadfast allies. Inside, Bill toasts Luna with sparkling cider, calling her the unexpected Spencer guardian angel, while Finn smiles, knowing he will spend the rest of his life earning the title dad under eyes that once begged him not to turn away. Weeks later, the show's narrative camera pans across Forrester Creations' press conference, where Ridge announces a charity partnership funding oncolytic virus research, honoring Liam's battle and Luna's gift. Reporters swarm. Brooke and Taylor stand side by side championing the cause. Wyatt covers the event for Spencer Publications with an editorial titled, "When Business Builds Bridges Instead of Walls." Backstage, Liam, hair grown back in soft waves, watches Beth and Kelly present the first grant check, each girl wearing a shell bracelet identical to Luna's, symbols of family rethreaded. Hope squeezes Steffi's hand as the ceremony ends, and for once the two women share a smile unmarred by possessiveness. They have learned love's expansion is not a zero-sum ledger. Bill steps forward to escort Liam to a waiting SUV, but Liam pauses center stage, lifts the microphone, and without flourish thanks everyone for mercy, for second chances, for realizing that even if tomorrow's scans darken again, they will face it as one. Applause swells, cameras flash, and the episode fades not on tragedy or victory, but on an ensemble tableau. Spencer, Forrester, Logan, Finnegan, and the newly welcomed Luna standing beneath runway lights, silhouettes overlapping so thoroughly it is impossible to discern boundaries. This earned unity, born of confession, emotional reckoning, scientific daring, and forgiveness resolute enough to bury generational grudges, changes the soap's future trajectory forever, proving yet again that On the Bold and the Beautiful Love is the most unpredictable writer in the room.